Welcome, beautiful buddy Saint Germain family. The UEFA Champions League, UEFA Europa League, and UEFA Conference League is ahead of us. And I thought to myself to predict all competitions. Let's get into it. First of all, we have Chelsea versus Legia Warszawa, the game going to Poland. Chelsea beating them 3-0. But obviously, I think the scoreline will be too big for Legia Warszawa. I could see even Chelsea winning away in Poland. But not there much to say. Chelsea going through. Next up is Rapid Wien versus Djurgården. Rapid Wien obviously got a good victory away in Sweden versus my rivals. And I think that will continue. Obviously, Djurgården also lost recently on the weekend in the derby. So I see Rapid Wien going through. I'm going to predict 2-1 for Rapid Wien. And you know what, honestly, a 1-1 between Chelsea and Legia Warszawa. Next up is Fiorentina versus Nogometini Club Celje. 2-1. Fiorentina won away. It's going to go home now. Let's say 4-1 to Fiorentina. And the last Conference League game to look at is Real Betis against this team. I don't know what this team is. But Betis won 2-0 at home. Now going away. Let's say 3-2, 2-1 Betis. 2-1 Betis. Next up is Manchester United versus Olympique de Lyon. Obviously, I did a watch along on the first leg. Very, very good game to watch. Goals, not the best defense. Good attack, apart from especially Garnacho and Haaland. But no, I'm very excited to watch this game again. Obviously, going to Old Trafford, 2-2. Lyon got the goal at the end, but they were the better team versus United. It's definitely going to be filled with goals. But I've already predicted Lyon to go through. So I'm going to be predicting a 3-2 for Lyon. Insane game at Old Trafford. Next up is Bilbao versus Rangers. Obviously, the final is being played in Bilbao. Actually, the game finished 0-0, not 2-0. But I see Bilbao winning 2-0 at their stadium, going through to the semifinals of the Europa League. Lazio, obviously, for some reason, lost to Bodo Glimt. Obviously, Bodo Glimt, a good team, but Lazio finished first in the Europa League table. So I did not expect that from them. But yeah, 2-0 defeat. Can they pull it back? I don't think so. They're going to win 2-1. Win, but not enough. And the last Europa League game to look at is Frankfurt versus Tottenham Hotspurs. 1-1. The first game finished between the two clubs. Going now to Germany. I predicted Spurs to go through, but I don't know. I have a feeling Frankfurt might do it. But you know what? I'm going to stick to my prediction. Spurs get a surprising 3-2 victory away in Germany. First Champions League game to look at is Inter Milan versus Bayern Munchen. But obviously, giving more percentage to Inter Milan. I do see them, going through in this tie, but it's not over. Bayern will definitely, make sure that Inter have to fight for this qualification into the Champions League semi-final. Let's say, you know what? Let's go for a draw. 2-2 between the two clubs. Inter managed to squeeze through. Next up is Borussia Dortmund versus FC Barcelona. Tie is already over. Barca won 4-0. I could see, honestly, Barca win this again. I mean, what do Dortmund have to play for in this game? They probably want to go back and focus on the Bundesliga for the rest of the season to get a European spot. Let me go for a draw. 2-2 between the two clubs. Next up, we have Real Madrid versus Arsenal. Can Real Madrid do the impossible? I don't think so. But what will they do? How close will they come? And how good will Arsenal be once again? This is the trickiest one to predict because I see a way where, Arsenal just go there and get another victory. Madrid, just no mentality in them. I could see the game being a tie. Arsenal getting a goal from, just getting a Madrid just not doing enough. Small chance of Madrid going through. But the most likely, I think it's the same that when Madrid beat Dortmund. No, when Dortmund beat Madrid 4-1. The Madrid had to make a comeback. They won 2-0. It just wasn't enough. And I think that's what's going to happen. I think Madrid are going to win. But Arsenal are going to manage to stay on that and go through to the next tie. So I'm going to say a Madrid 3-1 victory. Just not enough But a good victory for Real Madrid to end this Champions League campaign. And lastly but not least, Paris Saint Germain versus Aston Villa. Obviously, it was Paris Saint Germain 1-3-1. I don't really know how people are looking at this game. Maybe, this game is the game that Aston Villa make interesting. But, Aston Villa tried to make the game at the Parc interesting. And when I say interesting, I mean more 50-50 in terms of the result. This was the tight result. This one is not going to be tight. The performance is not going to be tight because Aston Villa have to push to get anything into this game. They will leave more space, and Paris Saint-Germain will have a clinical counter-attacking show away at Villa Park. So I'm predicting a 4-1. 4-1, potentially 4-2. I'm predicting a 4-1. Paris Saint-Germain to beat Aston Villa. 4-1 away. 7-1 on aggregate. Beautifully going into that Champions League semi-final. We obviously have a rest this weekend. No excuses. Well, those have been my predictions. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. Let me know in your predictions in the comments down below, your cheeky predictions for the upcoming UEFA tournaments. And as usual, allez, Paris.